Hey guys, it's Justin from Simplified Investing. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. Here are a few stocks we are watching this week as well as a key market breakdown. Enjoy. Alright guys, so getting things started here on QQQ, which is going to be the NASDAQ indice. Starting from the weekly chart here, we get this attempted push up here last week. We get this attempted bounce here this week and then closing at or near this low. Now, when we look at it from a trend perspective, obviously this is in a very strong trend. We're getting all of these pullbacks getting bought, but we are looking pretty weak here from a weekly chart perspective. So we get this move up, we get this attempted rally higher, and then boom, we flush this lower. Now, what does that look like from a daily chart perspective? We tried to rally here on Friday, and what was an attempted bull flag, so you get this move up here on 312, this should have seen follow through after this day up into these highs if we were truly strong. And instead we put in a narrow inside bar here, which then in theory, if this was just a rest for that move higher, this bar should have broken this high and then pushed up here, and instead we broke down. Then what happens is we get this wick, which you show that buying pressure for that upside move, and instead we gap down, we push up, we reject, and then reclaim this lower. The main watch for me for a long ideally is over 44267 with an initial target of 44445 and then that 44850 area overhead, which is right near this 52-week high. If we do break down this 433.55 region, we do have room lower into 430.37 and back down into this pivot around 421.73 on this daily chart. Again, short term looking pretty weak. This is a lower high here. We confirm this lower high when this candle breaks this low right here for a potential to move down into this 430.37 area. The biggest bull thesis that I would see as far as it comes on Monday is if we just completely erase this move and we break over this high right here and likely to trade up into 439.70, 441.55, and then 442.67 overhead. So keep those areas on watch here this week. The weekly and daily are looking weak, so that is of something to note for you guys this week. The first setup really that I like that has potential is going to be PayPal. And we're attempting to finally break this downtrend structure. Well, yes, we are still in a clear defined downtrend on the weekly chart. All of these pops are below the prior one, and we're making new lows, new lows, new lows, new lows, new lows. Now we're trying to rally, and I do think we can test this pivot high right around 68.20. Now, when we go into a daily chart perspective, we get this big rally up, an attempted move up higher here on 314, an attempted move up higher here on 315. These wicks don't scare me as long as we don't just form a big bear engulfing bar here either on Monday, Tuesday, whatever it may be. If we reclaim back higher over 63.84, really liking this long 64.53 and then a target into 66, and then up here around this 68.22 area pivot here from the daily. So keeping this on watch, it is looking very, very strong as long as we don't put in a bearish engulfing bar that slams lower. This is going to be one of the main watches here this week. Now, when we go into the next play is going to be Apple. Really a significant relative strength here on this one on a day where a lot of mega caps got sold into. We are getting strength here on Apple. And let's start from the weekly chart as we get this breakdown, and then we form essentially just this inside bar. So this whole week was within this prior week's range. And I do think we see a breakout on strength over 173.88, targeting 175.45, 178.03, and then 180 overhead. And that would correspond over here with a daily higher low, a break of this reject area. So it's a break and retest of this reject area for this move, 175.45, and then we can fill this gap, 178, and then fill that gap up into that 180 area above. And when we look at this from a 4-hour structure, you can see we attempted to move lower here right off the open in this opening 4 hours, and then boom, we slam this lower, close at or near the highs, showing that strength here on Apple heading into next week. Going to have this one on close watch here. Another one, Microsoft. Let's see how this one trades. It is a notable new name with strength. What I don't like is this breakout that just immediately gets sold into. But if we get strength here on on Monday, back over 419, I do think we can see a bounce long, at least into 426, and may even hit 430, which is that whole psych region overhead. Zooming out to the weekly, it's essentially a cup, a cup formation here, albeit a very small one, but you can see nice buying pressure off of this slam lower, nice buying pressure off of this move. Anything over 419.29 eyeing this long, targeting 426 and then 427.82. Coinbase, another nice one, and this one has a ways to set up. It's not setting up quite yet, but I do think we have room. Yes, it's very far away, but into this weekly pivot at 368.50. So a nice daily 3-bar play, similar to this, albeit this one has a lot sharper of a drawdown, which isn't as ideal as this one right here, but looking very, very strong, especially if we crack these highs over 269.70. Going into the daily, my main long watch is over 248.19, round up 250, for a move up into 265.63, and then a move up into that 270 region overhead. Then the last one is going to be on a short watch. This name is really, really weak. I'm mainly eyeing a short below 160.24, targeting 152.37 here on Tesla. As all of these mega caps are hitting their highs, this continues to get sold into, and we're forming this bear flag here on the daily. Any breakdown below 160, I do think we can see strong sell pressure down below into that 152.37 area. That being said, that wraps up our watch list for the week. Leave any questions or comments down below on what you guys are watching. I would love to see what you guys are watching, and I hope you all have a great week. Thank you.